Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I've got Bill with me again, and I know a lot of you guys have been wondering and probably praying for him. Actually, I've seen a lot of you guys praying for him and me. So me and Bill are just going to do a little BS session between each other, and maybe we can all learn something again from Bill. Before we get into that, though, a couple links. As you know, I rely on my Patreon, my PayPal, and my merch to help this channel to continue to grow and go. All those links are in the description below. I also have a second channel for creepypasta, fanfiction, and scary voice acting. Stories that definitely do not fit on this channel. Now, if that's anything that you're into, follow that link and give those stories a listen. You may just like what you hear. Now I've taken enough of your time, and you guys have waited for Wild Bill for far too long. Let's get on with today's upload, shall we? Alright guys, it's been a couple of days, almost a week, since you guys have heard Wild Bill. He is here with me right now. Bill, would you like to say hi?
Hello everybody.
He's been doing his job, keeping America safe. I don't know how much he can discuss about that, but we're just going to do a kind of a BS session tonight. I know we've got some Q&A put aside for another day, but I had some questions that I wanted to ask him, and we really haven't talked in a couple of days, just email. So I don't know. Is there anything that you'd like to share with everybody that you can share? How everything's been going lately?
Well, I'll share what I can about this. We took myself and all my agents went to the biggest hot spot in the USA, which was in Pennsylvania, and we shut it down. And we all came out scratched a little bit. All of us did. Myself, including 17 agents, came out scratched, but we all came out alive. That was the main thing. So it was a good hunt. Biggest hunt I've ever been on. Most kills I've ever seen in one hunt, all put together at one time. I'll elaborate more at a little later date on it, but the biggest hot spot in the USA has been shut down.
Thank you very much.
That's about all I can really say about it right now.
All right. Is there anything that you can share more with the Georgia incident? Anything on that, or is that still ongoing?
It's ongoing, but they did catch up with 5 Dogmen down there. They closed the case down on her. It's all closed out. There was 5 Dogmen in one group. The agents tracked down and killed, and that was what had led away from there. All we can figure is that when she came upon them in the road, she was going like if you was going from west to east. Her traveling east, she went into the westbound lane, pulled her car off the road, got out of the vehicle, or they got her to come out of the vehicle somehow. She then crossed across the road back onto the eastbound side, where she was attacked and killed, and they left her laying in the ditch, and that's where she was found. Her car was still running, the lights was on, and that's about as far as I feel comfortable going with that right now.
All right. Now, I know you and I, when we talk a lot about, everything and nothing sometimes. I mean, we could just have an hour. It seems like it's 20 minutes and it's about an hour and a half after our conversation gets done. And, we've talked about just random things that could be important for people to know. I know we've shared, when we discussed the walking stick, when I came up with that was a good one, and we shared that with the people. But the Dogman, as of right now, in your eyes, it seems like they're just out of control. Is there a reason? Can we blame it on population density of the humans, or is it just, because the werewolf doesn't seem to be going crazy. You don't seem to be getting a lot of calls on the Bigfoot. It just seems to be these guys, and they're just, I hate to use the word evil, because I hate to bring the religious aspect into cryptids, but it seems like they're just driven by some sort of evil, is there anything that you can see that possibly are making these guys this mad and this just dangerous why are they lashing out?
I don't have a good explanation for it, unless it is just, population growth, density, losing of habitat. I never agreed with letting the Dogman loose. I didn't really agree to letting the werewolves loose, but that wasn't my call. That came from way above my head. And, but really the pack mentality didn't really start showing up to the packs that we're seeing now. Didn't start showing up till about 7, 8, 9 years ago. Before that, you might see groups of 5, 6, 7 occasionally. And 10 or 12 years ago, you might see 5 once in a great while. 20 years ago, you would see them in groups of 3. It might be 3 males, it might be 3 females, it might be a male and 2 females. And that's what you normally see in the werewolves, is a male and 2 females. But with the Dogman, they have just, it's like they're, it's, you said it, it's like they're turning towards evil. And there's some things that's being discussed on a higher level, which I'm involved with, that may be taking place rather soon. I think the people would be happy about, and I'll go ahead and bring it up now. We may start calling the chipped Dogmen back in and euthanizing them. And I know this is a bad thing to bring up. And, if they was in the wild, they would breed. It's no different than us having them in the program and breed them. We just did it on a faster pace than what it would have been in the wild. And the government's to blame for that. But the werewolf, that program, has been successful so far. But if we start with the euthanizing the Dogman, we're also going to try to reinstate the Bigfoot, but not for a wartime. We're just going to try to repopulate some of the numbers that's being killed off by, how do you say it, people that's hunting them for sport. And you'd be surprised at the numbers that are hunting the Bigfoot for sport.
Is there a lot? I mean, is that something that people are really? I mean, because that just I couldn't.
Yeah, we get calls a lot about the Bigfoot being hunted for sport, and we have to either go recover the bodies, and then we have to destroy the Bigfoot.
That's wow. I mean, they're just hunting them. They're not even trophy hunting.
They're not even trophy hunting. And most of the people that's doing the hunting is coming in from like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, places like that. It ain't the American hunters in Canada that's hunting these creatures. It's people from other countries that's coming in, paying American trackers or Canadian trackers, put them on them, and then they're hunting.
So it's just
the thrill of the kill.
Right, like the African big game hunters that are paying big money to take a picture with a dead giraffe, and yeah, wow.
Yep.
And that's on an average. Do you get? I mean, just on just ballpark.
100 a year.
100 a year, and you have to go and wow.
Recover their bodies.
Now is that?
I don't know how many we lose. I don't know how many we lose as successful hunters.
Right. Does that go on with all three?
I'm not sure. We don't never hear about it happening with the Dogman. Probably because there's always more than one Dogman.
Right.
So they don't never probably get out of the woods with that being said. And werewolf, they probably nobody hunts it, just to be honest.
Right. And if they do, it might be like a...
It'd probably be the same thing as a Dogman.
Yep.
They don't come out.
But
the Bigfoot's more passive.
And they travel in pods, right? They're in pods, like a family.
And they're territorial. The Bigfoot stays usually in a 10-mile radius, a 10-mile square block. Block off the 10-mile square block, 10 by 10, and that's about their territory.
And
they'll stay in that.
How many in that block on an average?
5 to 7.
And that's a family or whatever they're called, like that. That's decent sized family of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that really all the cryptids creep me out. Not creep me out, but scare me a little bit. But that really actually kind of pisses me off that there's a bunch of non-American people coming over and paying big money to,
paying it to trackers, like, well, I can't name no names.
Right. I'm just, right now as you're telling me this, I have my eyes closed and I'm thinking about like I don't know why, but a small Bigfoot popped in my head running, through the woods away from, for some reason, and it makes me just real upset because I mean, they're wild animals. They deserve to be free and live in the woods as long as they're not causing harm to people. That's crazy. That is just crazy. Now, are you a little nervous with the quote unquote eradication of the Dogman when they come back? I mean, are they smart enough to, let's say you call in 3, not 3 Dogman, but 3 waves. You know, first wave is a success, second wave is a success, third wave, success. Do you think they might catch on eventually? Like, hey, there's not many more coming back, or, you know, I mean, if they're traveling in packs of 20 sometimes, 10 might go, and then
eventually they are going to catch on. I don't know how far down the line it'll be that they catch on. I'm hoping that if we start this and the final word comes down that we start to euthanize them, you know, I hope that we're able to at least get into the thousands,
right,
before they catch on, and we call them in, like we call in 50 from one state, and then we don't call in from that area again for a good while.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we can't do a lot from one area that at a time. Maybe they'll won't catch on for.
So it's like almost not, you don't want to fish out a small pond, so you move to a different pond and, you know, go back a year later. I see what you're saying. All right.
And just, you know, take small bites and spread it out over time in different areas and everything, and hopefully that'll take down some of the problem. What we took care of in Pennsylvania is going to have to help that state tremendously.
Can you share the number?
177
in
one group.
That's insane for 17. And when you said scratches, you weren't just saying scratch. I mean, when you say scratch, I don't want people to think like just like a cat scratch, or Bill got effed up. You know, I mean, I
got 188 stitches, but I was the worst of all of them. I was on point.
Yeah.
The next closest one to me was about 48 stitches, and everybody else was below that. But everybody got scratched by one. But yeah, I got it the worst.
Yeah, and when I talked to you, excuse me, I think I talked to you a day after, or yeah, it was actually almost like 3 a.m, and you emailed me. No, you called me. You called me. Yeah, we talked on the phone, and I could hear the definite. You were exhausted, and I could hear that you were just in pain, you know, and that was definitely some real deal crap, because I don't think people understand, like, when I don't hear from you I mean, you and I usually will email each other maybe 2 or 3 times a day. We don't talk on the phone every day, maybe 3 times a week, even before doing these. But I knew something was up when I didn't hear from you an entire day. I think I sent out like 2 emails, hey, are you okay? And then, boom, I got the call. And yeah.
5 minutes after 4.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was late. Wow, that is insanity. Now, such an operation like that must be like hard to keep out of the public's eye. Is there other agencies involved that you can name, or no?
There was another agency involved in removing the bodies.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave it at that.
Right.
And after they done the bodies, they was mind washed. So
all right.
They don't remember doing it.
They have no. Now that's the thing.
They have not a clue that they was even on that premises.
Do they, when they come out of it? Like, let's say, okay, me and you are hanging out one day. I see something, or no, because I know but all right, some random person. Do they kind of like get a weird look on their face when they come out of it and wonder why the hell I'm here, or how far did you go back? You know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously
they try to go back to the time that they was put. Like, say you was gonna say, let's just say that you saw Sebastian by accident. You was at my Virginia home and you saw Sebastian by accident.
Yep.
At 4:15 in the afternoon. I could turn my phone on, play the program, and I could mind wash you back to 4 o'clock. And you wouldn't remember nothing to 4 o'clock till, if I wanted to, 5 minutes after you saw Sebastian.
Wow.
Till we left Sebastian. And you just wouldn't remember nothing for that 20 minutes.
And there's no like a state of time loss or anything for these people? That's what I was trying to get at. Like they feel like something's missing, or it's just normal? It's
just normal.
Okay.
They just go on with their day.
Okay. All right.
It's not like they know something's happened and they can't put their finger on.
Okay.
It's not like that.
So okay. So they just move on and like
move on with their day.
Yep.
Just like nothing's happened.
All right. That's crazy. There was something I wanted to ask you. I'd been thinking about it, and the breeding program, like, I think it was the last time we did like a Q&A, and someone asked the question, does Sebastian recognize his young? Now, let's say Sebastian and his favorite, does he have a favorite werewolf woman or werewoman? Or?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know if he's got a favorite or not. He just
okay. Well,
he likes when we put a new one in there with him.
Right.
I mean, you know, there's an area in the back of each of the enclosures.
Yep.
That they can go to, and it's private.
Old Sebastian goes back and gets a little strange.
Yep. He goes back there and gets you.
Now, does he has let's say, has he ever favored one of his children? Like, like as a parent, I have daughters and you have kids. Does he ever show more affection, or is he just move on? And you know what I'm trying to say? Like, is there a bond, like a connection? Like,
he's had boys that he showed more favoritism towards.
Okay.
He has done that. That, we've always told him that he could name them, and he's always left it up to the females.
Yep.
Except I think there's been 7 boys that he's named, and that's all that I know of that he's named.
Okay.
Since I've been dealing with him.
Now, when the females are in there, do they fight for his attention, for Sebastian's attention, or how do they get along? I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
females don't fight.
Okay.
For some reason, they get along.
So it's like the sister wives, but the werewolf wives, kind of, they're friends and they don't fight for attention from Sebastian.
No, they don't fight.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's pretty cool. And the female Dogman, they don't fight near as bad as the males. And the males get along more in the Dogman than the werewolves do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, it makes sense. They're more pack-like now.
Yeah, they're pack-like. Yeah. So the males get along good there. And out in the wild, the werewolves, the males in passing won't fight as long as they move on.
Huh.
So.
Now, do the females the females with the, how do they treat, the Dogmen males, how do they treat their young? Like, are they aggressive? Because, some animals are very aggressive towards the young, and then they want to kill them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, some cats, when they have, like, a male cat is around the litter, it might go at the babies for some reason.
They're not protective of them, and they don't go after them, but they're not protective of them, no.
So they just really don't care that much?
No,
okay.
No.
All right.
No, bad dads.
Right. Now the females, do they all kind of like bond together, like as a group, like a nursing group to,
Yep.
One female has a couple babies, do all 7 of them help out and stuff, like a...
If they're born on about the same days, they'll all help together. But if they're born on different days, forget it.
Wow.
It's like if they're born on different days, forget it. 1 day difference. I don't know. I don't know how they can tell the difference, but they can.
Okay. That's strange. That is strange.
It is. It's very strange because we've tried several times to put one that's 3 days difference with the one that's born.
Yep.
Won't have no part of it. And then we have to be raised by the human.
Okay.
And at some point we have to put them back, and after they get to a certain age,
right.
Moving around good, walking on all fours.
How long is that usually? When do they start, like,
Usually within about, I'd say, been so long since I've been around any of the young.
I'm sorry.
Usually within about 10 to 14 days, they're up moving around on 4 legs.
Okay.
Or 2 legs and 2 paws, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. And that's both Dogman and werewolf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the the werewolf's vocal range? Like, when did that usually start taking place?
At about 2 years.
2 years?
Yep.
Okay. And then,
pretty close to about the age of a baby.
Is that like the mom? Does the mom or the female werewolf, is she teach the young to speak or teach them words, or?
She'll say some words to it, but most of it is done by the intercoms.
Okay.
And them listening to that, picking up what, listening to their mothers, what they say.
Right.
But they're not taught by their mothers. No.
Okay. So is there at the at the enclosures? Is there someone, like, okay, we've already discussed there's veterinarians, doctors, this, that. Is there someone that, a human that his job or her job is to teach words through the intercom? Is there like,
There is.
so there's some sort of program to teach them how to speak, teach them how to,
They got CDs that they play that's got different words on it, and it's played throughout the system.
okay,
It's played throughout the whole thing. So, I mean, the Dogman can hear it too.
right,
So they can learn words. They can't speak it.
right,
But, and, you know, when they come in, they've got a way of communicating with us to let us know what they want to do.
like grunts or nudges or something like that?
They'll point, like when the 10 came in and the 27 came in with them
Yeah,
to wanted in the program, they was pointing at them, and but the people that was there was saying, you want to be like them, you want in the program, leading them with questions like that, and they was shaking their head in agreement.
so like a very basic form of communication.
Very basic, yes.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I wonder if I mean I don't have to wonder, I can just ask. Have there been any programs to teach the werewolf other languages?
We've never tried that.
Okay. Because I mean they seem very intelligent, like you said. Their IQs are very high for just, you know, not going to, you know, having some schooling or whatever, but I wonder if they're capable of learning like children in school. They learn Spanish, French, English, you know. I wonder if they're capable of doing that.
Well, I'm sure that, well, with an IQ of 107, I'm sure he could.
Right.
I would think.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we've established they're very intelligent. Let's discuss a little bit about the ins and outs of the outside. Like, can you share? I mean, you've shared a couple of encounters with us. Can you share anything? One of your most memorable things that you've seen a wild dogman do in the wild, like to protect itself or to get away from you? Like, do they cover their tracks? You know what I mean? Not cover their tracks, but when they're trying to avoid you, they're obviously they know you're hunting them, especially if a tagged one is loose, and it doesn't want to fight.
I've had them take brush and brush their tracks away, even trying to throw me off their trail. I mean, they're smart. I've had them go to the rocks and try to stay on top of rocks, get water, and go upstream or downstream for a mile, trying to throw me off their track. You know, it's just, they're an amazing creature, but
Dangerous.
they just dangerous. And they're not out of control, but they are another 10 years at the rate they're going now, and they could be.
Right.
Another 10 or 15 years,
Well,
and the program not done right could be.
Well, it seems like there's the attacks of, I mean, maybe it's just because of social media, the news being better with the internet, but to me, it seems like there's a lot more attacks. You know, I mean, we had just in the last couple of months, we'll say 6 months, the teacher, the woman in Texas, this doctor woman, and then more. It just seems like there's a lot more of them lashing out. I wonder if
How many attacks you think there's been in the last, you're saying 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
Animal attacks. How many animal attacks you think there's been in the last 6 months?
Reported or non-reported?
Both. Altogether. Reported.
I'm going to say reported at least 12. Non-reported probably 30.
Now you talking about deaths?
Yeah.
Deaths, you're talking 30?
Yeah, at least, maybe. I don't know. That's my guess. I just, with the news and,
Not 44 deaths.
Wow. And that's non-reported or reported?
Reported.
Wow.
Guess how many has been non-reported?
Over 100?
Yeah, 144.
Now, how are these... Is there something that you say... I mean, you don't... Let's say I'm attacked, not me personally, but just some random person is attacked in upstate New York, okay? Game warden calls you, guy was hiking. Game warden calls you, he can see evidence of just Dogman.
Yep.
You don't report anything to the family. You don't go to the family and say, now what do they really, I don't know. It's crazy to me that and it's the local public, or not local public, but the local news that make the cover up. It's not you guys. It's the local news that decides to do this.
Don't know what to say.
All right. So, we'll get off that one.
But it comes from, higher up.
Right. Now, with the I'm sorry. I was just going to jump right off of that one. With the eradication of the Dogman, have you guys thought about possibly using the werewolves to take him out? Or would that be jeopardizing the program for the werewolf?
That might put the program in jeopardy. But it could be a possibility of using it. But I don't foresee that happening, that we would use it for that.
Right.
Especially with what's happening in China right now, and with Russia right now, with China.
Right, especially with, the tensions.
Are building.
Yep.
So.
Now, when they come back, okay, like you just said, with the tensions building, werewolf would be the main one to go. When you bring some back, are they updated or made aware that shit's getting rough? You might have to, or do they just? Is it like just a push of a button? Let's say we're invaded by China tomorrow, okay? Or let's say the Red Dawn, the original Red Dawn, the only good Red Dawn ever made, happens. Cuba and Russia hit us. Is there a button that's pushed and these guys, the the Dogman or werewolf know what to do? Like, or do you guys have to take them back to Virginia, let them know, hey, we're under attack, now's the time?
There's a command given.
That's what I meant, not button. Like something in the chip. Do they feel like some? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
There would be a command given, and they would answer to it, and they would meet at a certain location, all at one place.
Right.
And they would move from there with the handlers and myself.
So you guys would be out in the field. It wouldn't just be strictly these guys, the werewolf's Dogman going to town. It would be maintained by you guys.
No.
Okay.
It would be Marine Corps. It would be one handler to 25 to 25 werewolves, one Marine handler to 25 werewolves, and myself.
Okay. All right.
To oversee it. And that's what would go in.
It'd be a really short battle.
It would.
Did you get a chance to, I forgot to ask you, I know I sent you a couple emails the other day. Did you get a chance to check out that email with I think it was out in Colorado with those trees bent over?
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, for anybody that's wondering what video I'm talking about, Chills, does like the top 15 scary or top 10 scary. There was a video about a week ago, and it was the third submission, and this gentleman was out in the woods, and the trees were bent abnormally for a couple of acres, like Bill was saying. What did you say, 10 by 10? It was a large section of woods, just trees bent, logs stacked, and you could tell these weren't done by humans because how the logs were stacked. There wouldn't be a way of getting a skid steer or like some sort of stacking device out there, and a normal human definitely could not move these trees how they were stacked or how these trees were bent. Like these trees were bent right over without snapping.
Yeah, I did look at that too. I did.
You did see it?
I remember it now. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Is that something that's atypical of when, you come across something like that? Or
that would be, I would think that would be Sasquatch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But, I mean, is that something, have you seen a lot of those things out in the woods?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You see that? Yeah. Yeah, you do. You see it quite often, especially you get inside their territory.
Right.
Rock stacking. Yep.
Now, do they all avoid each other? Like they try to avoid humans. Do they avoid each other in the wild? Like, let's say a couple Dogman, 6 or 7, go through a pod area of the Sasquatch. They stumble across the rocks, trees bent. Would the Dogman leave, or would they go right through and just continue to travel?
Dogmen will try to stay any place they can, but if Sasquatch knows they're there, he's not gonna allow them to stay. He's gonna force them out.
Okay. See, for some reason, because the more that we learn, everybody's always assumed that the Sasquatch, very smart, creature, very docile, wants to avoid, unless confronted. You know, you hear those crazy stories where like a hunter or some loggers were messing around and they were throwing, you know, the Sasquatch ended up throwing rocks. A hunter shot at one and, yeah, provoked. But we've learned about the werewolf being very intelligent now. And the Dogman, not so much, but really, it's still intelligent. Sometimes I wonder, by crossing a werewolf and Bigfoot just meeting, I wonder if that's ever happened. I wonder, like, if they've crossed paths and not had a altercation. You know, I wonder if they've.
They have. I've seen them.
Right.
I've been after a werewolf, seen it go through a Bigfoot territory, and the Bigfoot come out, and seen the alpha Bigfoot come out, and no confrontation, but he was there. If the werewolf didn't move on, there was going to be a confrontation.
Right.
And I should have took a shot, but I was actually stopped to see what was going to happen. And then I had to chase 2 more days to get the werewolf. But I wanted to see if there would be a confrontation. And
that would be one hell of a show.
That would have been I would have liked to see the outcome.
Yeah. I mean, you know, just.
But I would have bet on the Squatch.
Yeah, yeah. But just seeing the interaction must have been friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
It was tense, and I was 125 yards away, and it was tense where I was.
That's crazy. Now I know you've talked about hunting those squatches that one time. Has there been any other times that you've hunted squatch? Or I mean, how many times on an average? Like it seems to me that you hunt the Dogman the most. Yep. Then how's it go? Werewolf, then Squatch, or?
Well, let's see. I can tell you right down to the numbers. If you'll give me just 1 second.
Yeah, take your time. All right.
Okay. Back. And the numbers so far today, since I've been with the agency, I've killed 875 dogmen. I've killed 833 werewolves. And I've killed 58 Bigfoot.
No, that's you yourself?
That's me, myself.
Wow.
That's 35 years of hunting. There's a bonus on each one of them. The bonuses has went up over the years, so. But the werewolves pay the most. They're up to $10,700 a piece.
Really?
For an agent, yeah. Sasquatch pays second most at $7,400. The Dogman pays $5,400.
No, is that any kind chipped or non-chipped?
What? Yeah, either one.
Either one.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Yep. I have my numbers right here because
have you ever had a
hunt?
Have you ever had a hunt that you felt bad?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever had to hunt one down and you actually felt bad doing it?
Yes. The one that I went up to Alaska this last time killed.
Yeah, I know that one. That one was a rough one because you were put in a predicament. I know you can't probably talk about any of that, but I remember talking to you about that one, and that was
a no-win situation.
Yeah, and you got yep. So
I mean, that he was feeding them people.
yeah. Now, speaking of Alaska, do their colors change? I mean, not change, but is there like a different color, like when they're in colder climates, Sasquatch? Because a lot of people say the abominable snowman, maybe, or Yeti is more than likely a Sasquatch, but they're supposedly white. Have you ever ran across that? Like polar bears are bears, but they're white because they live in colder and white climate area. You know, I mean, have you ever stumbled across anything like that?
I have seen some very light-colored ones. I've never seen a solid white one. I have seen some that's, I mean, Sebastian's face and head and mane area is not white but gray.
Is that from age?
Nearly.
Is that from age or?
That's from age,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. But I don't know if it's, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if they come white. I'm gonna be if they do restart the program, which I hope they do. I hope they allow me to go try to dart a male and get some females and restart the Bigfoot program. And if they do, I hope to go down to Georgia, between Menlo, Georgia, and Lafayette, Georgia, which is in the northwest corner of Georgia. Down there, there's one that's supposed to be a 12-footer. That's what I'm going to go after. And it's been seen many times.
And you're just gonna go down, trank it, and
Trank it, bring it back, and then I can get some females. We know where we can get females pretty easily. We get calls on them all the time.
now on something like that, when you're coming with, like, let's say, because I know sometimes you go on hunts solo, more than likely most of the time, and most agents, you know, do too, or maybe one other person with them, and that's just when you're taking them down, which seems to me would be easier than tranking one, because there's got to be a lot of just tracking, you know, it's going to be a strategic thing. Would that be something that one person would do? Would that be just by yourself, or would that be with a team to do that?
That will probably be two or three of us that will go on that. And it may not even involve me.
Right.
After this last little stunt up there in Pennsylvania, my CO really frowned on me, so my wings may have got clipped.
Was that because something that you did, or was that just because you got hurt and
Just all kind of
the aging process?
the aging process.
Right. Which is a shitty thing, the aging process. But I mean, that's not really your fault. I mean, he's got to know that you're dedicated to the job. I mean, he's not, you know, he's more or less, he's known you for years, so I'm assuming that he's more afraid for your safety than anything. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
you've said it multiple times, you know, you're not as fast as you were. You're still fast, you're still strong, but you're not that spring chicken anymore, no offense.
No, I ain't.
You know.
No, I'm not. Just have to see how it works out.
Right. Right.
I told him I had one more hunt in me. One-on-one.
Do you think in the near future that the that Alaskan, I mean, could you possibly ask your CO if you could share that with us sometime? Not tonight. I mean, I know you probably get a clearance for it and some of the things, but that one is very interesting. Just the brief details that you've told me about. Is that something that you could possibly share with us? Not tonight, but at a later date?
Yes, okay. I will.
Because, I mean, that, like you said, you did give one thing away, and you said it was feeding them. And that was like a symbiotic relationship. And it was, because of what you told me. I think that would blow a lot of people away to see, like, holy shit, like, this is actually, because there's been a lot of questions, can't we live in peace with each other and harmony? And that was almost a harmonious relationship, so.
It was.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
it was.
Maybe, I don't know, a couple days from now, maybe tomorrow, if you're not busy and you can get the clearance to share that'd be something cool to do. Also,
maybe we'll do it Memorial Day.
All right, yeah, that Memorial Day celebration.
Let me ask him about it.
All right, me and Bill, when we were on the phone earlier, there's a subscriber. We're trying to find the questions, but we've had so many questions, so many answers, so many uploads. I'm going to go through my paperwork tonight. Bill's going to go through his paperwork. There was a subscriber that asked about Skinwalker Ranch. He had some amazing questions. We cannot remember your name, and we apologize for that, or I apologize, my channel. But you asked
I had to get him vetted.
Yeah, Bill said, you asked questions, and then Bill said, what's your clearance? If you can please reach out, not through the comments, but through the email to me, so me and Bill can answer your questions, because he wanted to make sure that you were cleared, everything was cool, and then he couldn't find the questions. It's been a while, but I'm going to try, like I said, tonight. But if this is you, please, my email is in the description below. Reach out to us via email so we can answer those questions and get those answered for you.
Please.
All right.
And who was it? You said had something about, you had somebody wanted to know something about my 458.
Yeah, there was American Hunter.
American Hunter.
He wanted to know about your 458, if it was bolt or if it was semi-automatic, because there's like one company or something that deals with semi-automatics, and you said your 458
Mine's a bolt. Mine's a bolt action. And it's a Winchester Model 70. And it's probably 50-something years old.
All right. Well, we're almost up on time. I'm trying to get a new program, because right now I can only do hour-long videos. It's nothing to do with YouTube. It's with my recording program that I use. So I'm going to tell everybody now, good night, and have a good night, and stay safe. Bill?
Good night from Virginia.
All right, guys. Have a great night.